Part 52. Difference between private company and public company. Points of difference, private company and public company. First one, number of members. Number of member in minimum 2 persons and number of members should not increase more than 200 in private company. Minimum 2 members must be required to form a private company. The maximum limit of the member in a private company is 200. A minimum member is 7 persons and no restriction on maximum number in public company. Minimum 7 members must be required to form a public company and there is no maximum limit of the member in public company. Second point of difference, transfer of share. Private company puts a restriction on the transfer of share through its articles. Transfer of shares is restricted on private companies, but in public company, transfer of shares is easy. Share can be transferred freely in public companies. Invitation to public. In private company cannot invite public to subscribe shares or debentures, cannot issue prospects. A public subscription of share is not allowed in private companies. It is not required in a private company to issue prospects. In public company can invite public to subscribe into the shares or debentures by issue of prospects. Public subscription of shares is allowed in public companies. It is their mandate to issue the prospect to invite a public. One person company, private company can be one man company. One person company can enter into the contract with only one member who is a director. Private company can stand with one man company and one person company can enter into the contract with only one member and who is a director of that company. But in public company cannot be a one person company and a public company cannot do such a contract. A public company can't make such a type of formation and company cannot make such a type of contract also. Number of directors. There must be minimum 2 directors in private company. At least 2 directors are required in a private company. While in public company, there must be minimum 3 directors of whom one director must be woman. At least 3 directors are required in a public company and out of these 3, one must be a woman. Name of company. Private limited words are to be inserted after the name of a private company with limited liability and the word private in the name of a private company with unlimited liability. Private limited can be used after the private company name. That company's liability is limited with different limited. But private company can add private in the name of a private company with unlimited liability. Unlimited liability company can add the suffix private with the name. The word limited is inserted after the name of public company with limited liability. Limited can use after the public company name company with a limited liability in case of a public company. Articles of association. Articles of association is to be prepared and get registered compulsory with the registrar of companies. The only certification of incorporation is required to start the business. Along with the article of association is to prepare and get registered compulsory with the registrar of companies. Model articles stated in schedule 1 are applicable automatically in case articles are not paid. Certificate of incorporation and commencement of business is required to start the business of a public company and model articles stated in schedule 1 are applicable automatically in case articles are not prepared for the public companies. Minimum subscription. The provision of minimum subscription does not apply in case of private company. There is no provision of minimum subscription in the case of a private company. The provision of minimum subscription is applicable for the establishment of a public company. The provision of a minimum subscription is applicable. Private company can issue new shares with the existing shares. Issue of new shares can be offered to the persons other than the existing members of the company. In public company, issue of new shares is to be offered first to the existing members of the company. Any new shares going to issue, that time first preference is given to the existing members of the company. Issue of new shares is to be offered first to the existing members of the company. But in private company, issue of new shares can be offered to the persons other than the existing members. These are the major difference between private company and public company.